yes, my loves. 4.4 million views in half a day. Prince Harry is really crushing Stephen Colbert's show views. It's getting more and more views with each few minutes. Every time Prince Harry or Meghan shows up, the numbers goes crazy. Prince Harry wasn't even advertised beforehand. If we had advance notice, just imagine the numbers. Oh, my loves! What an electrifying rush it is to witness numbers explode with the kind of unstoppable velocity that feels almost supernatural, as though the very act of watching is generating its own momentum. That astonishing 4.3 million view count in half a day creates a sensation that shimmers between disbelief and delighted awe, a moment so surreal it practically vibrates with the thrill of something bigger than expected, brighter than predicted, more dramatic than anything anyone dared to forecast. The line between the ordinary and the extraordinary dissolves instantly when a view count rockets upward at this scale, becoming a symbol of collective obsession, a global gasp woven through countless screens lighting up across continents. And as those views rise, not steadily but ferociously, leaping in sharp increments every few minutes, they begin to feel alive. Not passive numbers, but creatures with beating hearts, each click pulsing like a small spark contributing to a wildfire of attention. It's getting more and more views with each few minutes, yes, but not in a simple numerical way. No, it climbs like a fever, like a rumor spreading through a crowd already primed for excitement, like whispers turning into roars, like anticipation erupting into near manic exhilaration. Anyone watching the counter climb can feel it, an electric tick-tick-tick that sets nerves whirling, a sense that something monumental is unfolding in real time. And what triggers such a phenomenon? What ignites such wild interest? There's something irresistibly magnetic about the moments when Prince Harry or Meghan shows up, the numbers goes crazy. Those two names carry a peculiar magic in the digital age, a blend of mystery, controversy, glamour, and raw human emotion that compels even the most casual onlooker to lean closer, to click, to inspect, to react. Every time those names drift into public conversation, the world seems to inhale sharply, leaning forward as if about to overhear a secret. It's a gravitational pull unlike any other. Every time Prince Harry or Meghan shows up, the numbers goes crazy. It happens again and again, not by coincidence, not by luck, but because the mere presence of these figures, whether spoken about, referenced, glimpsed, or alluded to, creates a frenzy. Their appearance becomes a digital earthquake, shaking metrics in a way that analysts and producers and commentators try to rationalize, but never fully unravel. There is no formula for it. It simply is a phenomenon, a cultural pulse, a spark that ignites everything it touches. And the most astonishing detail, the twist in this tale that makes the entire situation impossibly delicious, is that Prince Harry wasn't even advertised beforehand. There was no hype campaign, no teasers, no dramatic countdowns, no carefully timed social posts designed to whip the public into a frenzy. No slow burn buildup meant to hook viewers in advance. Nothing of the sort. Just a quiet drop into the digital ocean. No announcement, no fanfare. And yet the waves rose like a storm, swelling, rolling, crashing with the force of global curiosity. To think of what could have happened if there had been advance notice. Oh, my loves, the imagination refuses to sit still. It spins, it dances, it leaps into wild speculation. Because if we had advanced notice, just imagine the numbers. Imagine the tidal wave. Imagine the scale of the reaction. Imagine the view count, not merely climbing, but erupting, exploding with a velocity that would have seemed impossible even in the current age of viral madness. If 4.2 million views in half a day occur with no advance warning, the numbers with full promotion would defy comprehension. It would be a spectacle of online activity so immense that charts would strain to track it, platforms would heave under its sheer weight, and commentators would scramble to craft explanations that still wouldn't capture the intensity of the collective fascination. Now, imagine those extra layers, teaser clips dropped days in advance, tightly cut moments that hint at stunning revelations. Imagine an announcement appearing at the top of feeds worldwide, accompanied by dramatic music or the faintest whiff of controversy, driving audiences to set reminders. Imagine social media going incandescent with predictions and think pieces and arguments and praise and complaints and 1,000 forms of excitable chatter. The anticipation alone would have created a digital bonfire bright enough to be seen across the entire internet. And yet, the beauty, the pure thrill, lies in what actually occurred. Without any of that machinery, without any groundwork or warning, the world still surged toward the content like a tide pulled by an unseen moon. It is proof of something rare in a crowded media landscape, unmanufactured magnetism, a draw so organic it defies convention. That kind of unprompted, unstoppable reaction reveals something vital. Audiences are hungry. They crave realness. They crave rebellion against expectations. They crave the unpredictable. They crave the thrill of moments that erupt without permission. And in those moments of raw curiosity, nothing, not algorithms, not strategy, not polished campaigns, matters more than the sheer weight of public fascination. And oh, how deliciously that fascination manifests itself. Every refresh brings new numbers, a cascade of views so constant it feels like rainfall, except this rain is glittering, shimmering, sparkling with the energy of millions of eyes drawn into one magnetic center. It's a spectacle so alive it almost hums, as though each new view is plucked from the atmosphere, a tiny burst of attention contributing to an enormous collective experience. Ooh, my loves, there's something intoxicating about watching the world react in real time. People sip their morning tea while clicking. Others check in from work, pretending to concentrate while glancing at their phones. Some watch during lunch breaks, others curled up in bed, others while commuting on trains where the soft glow of screens illuminates entire carriages. Everywhere, all at once, people lean into the same moment. The digital world shrinks as millions converge onto one focal point. The rising view count becomes a global heartbeat, a throb of excitement, curiosity, and fascination. The thrill lies not just in the content itself, but in the communal electricity of knowing that millions of others are watching too, thinking, reacting, feeling something similar. If we had advance notice, just imagine the numbers. It becomes a chant in the mind, a whisper that spirals into excitement. What we witnessed was extraordinary. What could have been borders on mythic. As the counter surges, it sparks conversation everywhere. Social feeds churn with commentary. Some type breathlessly, others sarcastically, others passionately, others with a kind of gleeful anticipation that something significant has been stirred. Screenshots bounce across timelines. People message friends with lines like, "Have you seen this yet? You need to watch now. This is going wild." The magic is not in the marketing. The magic is in the magnetism. And that magnetism becomes a story in itself. A story of demand so fierce, it slices through the noise of the internet like a blade through silk. A story of presence so powerful, it disrupts predictable patterns of engagement. A story of figures who, no matter how divisive or adored, captivate audiences with a pull that defies categories, expectations, and analytics. There is something so irresistibly juicy, so undeniably spicy in that eruption of views. A sense that the moment is bigger than the content, bigger than the platform, bigger than the usual cycles of entertainment. It becomes a cultural moment, a pulse felt across borders. And when a moment like that arrives, the air crackles with an almost theatrical intensity. Something spectacular is happening, and everyone can feel it, even if they can't quite explain why. The thrill comes from knowing that none of it was manufactured. Nothing was engineered to make people pay attention. It happened because the world wanted to watch, because curiosity ignited, because anticipation spiked the moment one name, Prince Harry, entered the scene, unannounced, unexpected, unadvertised. Every time Prince Harry or Meghan shows up, the numbers goes crazy. And that pattern exposes a truth. People latch onto stories tied to them in ways that surpass casual interest. The intrigue surrounding them lingers like perfume in a crowded hallway, subtle yet unmistakably present, following those who pass through. Each appearance becomes a lightning strike in the digital landscape. And the most marvelous part? This phenomenon isn't slowing down. If anything, it accelerates. It intensifies. It becomes more dramatic each time it unfolds. The reaction is so intense it leaves analysts blinking at their screens, recalculating projections, wondering how on earth something so unadvertised could achieve such monumental reach. The numbers don't increase. They surge. They don't climb. They leap. They don't trickle. They detonate. And as the view count skyrockets, it creates an atmosphere thick with anticipation. People wonder what will happen next. What could surpass this? What other appearance might send numbers soaring even higher? What moment might break the internet entirely? Suspense builds, not from a plot, but from the unpredictability of public reaction. No one knows how high the numbers will go. No one knows when the surge will peak. No one knows whether the next hour will bring another million views, whether the next few minutes will bring a spike that sends producers into a frenzy. It becomes a grand spectacle, a wild crescendo of attention fueled by excitement, curiosity, emotion, and the sheer intensity of global interest. Ooh, my loves. Watching that number climb is like watching a firework ascend in slow motion, knowing that when it explodes, the burst will light up the entire sky. Every view adds more pressure, more anticipation, more thrill. And through it all, the thought returns again and again like a heartbeat. If we had advance notice, just imagine the numbers.